Hello, my name is Alyssa, and this is Breathe and Be. This is a meditation for anxiety. And as a person that's struggled with anxiety for years, and also as a person that has to constantly monitor anxiety, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge you right now for observing what's going on inside and knowing that there's something that you need to tend to for yourself. It can be very overwhelming, but do know that these anxious thoughts are not uncommon. They're normal. Yeah? You're not weird, and they won't last forever either. So, as we go through this meditation, I hope that some of these techniques and even just a moment to pause serves you to find your own grounding. What you're going to need for today is just a comfortable seat. So if you feel most comfortable seated flat on the ground, that's great. I'm seated on a block. It helps me relax my hips. You can also sit in a chair. And if you do sit in a chair, just make sure your spine is upright. Now, for those of you that want to sit on a block, you can sit as I am right now with ankles crossed. You could also choose to kneel, which sometimes I like because it helps my spine sit a little bit more upright. So choose your seat for now. As you're finding this seat, I do want to introduce one of the pranayama exercises we'll use. Pranayama is just a fancy Sanskrit word for breath technique. This is a buzzing breath. So the way you'll practice it, and I'll again introduce it to you as we're in our meditation, you'll inhale through your nose, filling your lungs all the way. And then as you exhale, you'll keep your lips sealed, breathe out through your nose, and find just a buzzing sound. Like a bee, you'll hum your way out as you exhale. Sounds like this. Again, we'll get some practice as we go, but what this does, it stimulates the vagus nerve, which calms your nervous system, and you'll feel the effects of it as we get started. All right? So hopefully you're in a comfortable seat by now. You're seated up tall. Before we close our eyes, I want you to actually scan your space. Make sure that you won't be disturbed in these next few minutes. Make sure that you can hear my voice clearly from where you are. And then as you're scanning, just notice the details of the room. Have you ever looked up at the ceiling and felt like you've never looked up before? Notice the details, the textures, the colors. And even this practice of observing what's around you is going to bring you into the present moment, which is the place that you have the most agency over your own energy. Once you feel comfortable with your space and you've really taken in the details, I want you to settle your gaze about 3 feet in front of you on the floor. Now just take a few moments to soften the corners of your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes. If you do the entire meditation with your eyes softly open, that's perfectly normal and all right. Take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. One more inhale. If you feel willing, and again, you don't have to, as you exhale, you're welcome to close your eyes. Know that at any moment, you're welcome to open your eyes again. Now take a moment with your eyes closed or slightly open and scan your body. Feel your hips anchored into your seat. If you're kneeling, you might notice how your shins press into the ground. If you're seated in a chair, acknowledge your feet anchored into the floor. And it's just that simple. You notice, you feel. Start to notice where your hands are resting in your lap. And if you need to adjust your hands so that your palms face down, that might feel more grounding. You could feel more comfortable with your palms facing up. Just acknowledge that. And by the way, as we scan our body, if you automatically feel drawn and pulled to those anxious thoughts, just notice them and say, I've got you, I see you. And as you can, come back to scanning your body. Observe your heart space, your chest space. And it's okay if you feel any tension. It's okay if you feel a little tightness in your chest. We cannot change anything if we don't acknowledge it first. See if you can reach the crown of your head a little bit higher to the sky. And as you do, if possible, let your shoulders drop back a little bit. And notice if sitting up a little bit taller helps your energy. So that even if those anxious thoughts are looming, allow your chest to lift and open. And begin to notice your breath. Our breath is an involuntary action, which means if you stopped thinking about breathing, you would still breathe, thank goodness. But as an unconscious action, we can also start to notice it. It becomes a tool to uncover any unconscious feelings below the surface. Sounds complicated, but it's very simple. Just exhale all the air out of your lungs. Inhale through your nose, belly rises, ribs expand wide, chest inflates. Sip in a little bit more air if you can. And nice and calmly exhale through your nose, chest falls, ribs deflate, belly empties. Repeat. Inhale, notice your belly rise. Notice your ribs expand. Notice your chest inflate. And take a pause at the top. Exhale through your nose. And in reverse order, chest deflates, ribs empty out, belly softens. Now your breath becomes a tool. In every moment, you can focus on your breath, a neutral focal point. And if any anxious thoughts arise while you're acknowledging your breath, take a moment to acknowledge those thoughts as well. Sometimes I like to personify my anxious feelings. And I think of them as energy that needs to move, that needs to travel along its way. So at any moment, if you feel like there's a big anxious thought looming, you can inhale through your nose. And maybe you take a big exhale out your mouth. Energetically imagine that anxious thought loosening its grasp on you and starting to float away as you take that big exhale, drop your jaw and let it go. Inhale through your nose. Acknowledge the anxious thought if it's there. And then loosen your grasp on it by exhaling and dropping your jaw. Let it go. Repeat that as many times as you need. I know that sometimes we don't have to settle the anxious feeling. Sometimes it's just enough to loosen our grasp. Let it float away or dissipate like vapor air. And remember that those thoughts won't last forever. Let's transition into our buzzing breath now. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. Take a fresh breath in through your nose. Fill your lungs all the way. Let your belly press out. Let your ribs expand, chest inflate. And then as you exhale through your nose, let yourself hum. Once all the air is out, fresh breath in. Inhale. On your time, exhale and buzz it out. Repeat as many times as you need. And specifically, as you exhale, notice the feeling of your throat vibrating. Let yourself dive deeper into that calming reverberation. Repeat and repeat as many times as you need. Know that you can't always control the anxious thoughts. You can't always control what happens to you in life. But your reaction is always your choice. So know that if you ever get overwhelmed during your meditation or in life, come back to this buzzing breath. Inhale. And choose to anchor your attention inwards into the space that you have full and total control over. As you feel confident enough, maybe let go of the buzzing breath and let yourself sit in stillness for a few moments. Maybe now that you feel calmer and more centered, you can ask these anxious thoughts, what do you need from me? Sometimes I like to ask my anxiety, what are you trying to show me? What is the lesson I'm meant to learn from you? And don't feel like you have to answer that question. Allow yourself to sit in silence, to fill that empty space with a conscious breath. And be willing to receive any answer that might arise, or be willing just to breathe. If you get overwhelmed, come back to your buzzing breath. And remember that you're welcome to open your eyes at any moment should you choose. Good. To seal your practice, I want you to notice your breath again. Deepen your inhales, deepen your exhales. Feel free to use any breath practice that feels natural. And And as you feel more connected to your breath, your life force, bring your hands together. Start to rub your hands together to bring a little bit of heat back into you. Heat into your hands, heat into your body. Good, and then maybe place your hands over your face, over your eyes. Maybe massage your face to wake yourself back up. You can bring your hands over your heart and rub your chest. Brighten up your heart space. Give yourself some energy. And then feel free to acknowledge any part of your body that might be tense. You can massage, you can rub, just to ease any of that tension. When you feel like your body is awake again, sit up nice and tall. Hands can stay in your lap. They can be placed flat on your chest, or maybe palms together at heart center. Take a big breath in, inhale, sit taller, open your collarbone. And as you exhale, bow your chin to your chest. Acknowledge your journey, the good, the bad, the uncomfortable, with the willingness and the self-awareness. Even something as uncomfortable as anxiety can show you the way. Keep your heart open. Be willing to breathe. And remember that this space within your own heart, within your own body, is always yours to control. Acknowledge your meditation any way you wish. Thank you so much. I truly hope that this helped ground you, maybe quell any burning anxiety. Of course, it's a journey, it's a practice, so come back to this meditation as many times as you need. And if you feel like it's not getting better or it's not manageable, don't hesitate to reach out to a friend, a family member, a professional. You can also find me on Instagram at Gesticulate, and I'd love to chat with you more about this meditation or others. I hope the rest of your day is peaceful, calm, and within your own grasp. Namaste.